Hi everybody, it's Christopher Naiman. What are we looking at here? We're looking at a Janome Skyline S9. This was one of my latest purchases. I got a story to tell about this, and we're going to go over some of the highlights of this wonderful, wonderful machine. So if you own this machine, you know how great this machine is. If you're thinking about getting this machine, oh my God, you will not be sorry. So come on back, stay with me, and we're going to talk about this machine. All right, welcome back. Okay, so as always, you know, my videos are filled with tips and ideas and techniques to help you all. Now, this machine is a combo sewing and embroidery machine. It is a wonderful machine. Somebody asked me to compare model machines to cars. Well, I'm going to do car brands. I've always considered Janome brand to be like the Ford, kind of like a Ford, because when it sews, you can really feel the road. It's like one of those tough Ford trucks, and you can really feel it, and it really has some durability to it. You know, that's how I look at a Janome brand. I love Janome, and I have a couple other brands that I love as well, but this video is about Janome, so we're going to stick with Janome. Now, I saw this a long time ago, and I thought about getting it, but instead I bought the MC 9900. Now, the 9900 looks, I bet it's just on the same chassis. You know, it does everything that this basically does, but this one's got some more advanced technology to it. So if you want to look up more techniques and sewing ideas and stuff, look at my MC 9900 videos, because it's the same thing as the S9, except for the fact that the S9 is wireless and you can use the apps. So you could do precise positioning. So you can use your tablet and take a picture of your fabric in your hoop and calibrate and align it and send it to the machine, and you'll have a perfect placement of whatever you're embroidering. Now, there are videos by Janome employees on YouTube that will teach you that. So, or employee Janome dealers that will teach you that. This is just coming from my heart about what this is all about. Now, let's talk about some ideas that I do to help you. Now, this extension table, a lot of people kept wondering about this extension table, and I told them, I said, this was my 9900 table, okay? This table fit my MC 9900. And, you know, sometimes Janome doesn't have the best proofreaders on their website, or they don't have the best organizers. I mean, I've been in this industry a long time, and every time I turn around, they got somebody new working for Janome. They don't seem to hold on to a workforce for very long. So with that said, you know, us people who work out here on these machines, consumers like me, we tend to know a lot. Like, for instance, I remember years ago, Janome's slogan was "Built for Life." Well, after their first computer embroidery machine boards started dying after so long, they took that slogan away because it wasn't built for life anymore. The internal parts are built for life, but they don't make electronics to replace the boards and the power and everything. And a lot of the companies don't do that, and they really should start thinking about that, because we're getting a lot of these machines after 25, 30 years are heading to the landfill because the mechanics of the machine inside still work wonderful, but electronics go and they don't make the electronic to replace anymore, the parts anymore, which is sad. My MC 9000 just died. Oh my God. And that's what led me to get this machine. Okay. But I don't buy new machines anymore. I don't, guys. I don't believe in spending full price on a machine that, you know, and after 10 years, they're not going to make replacement parts for them anymore. So why spend the full price? Just wait a few years, and you're going to find these machines. I talk about this all the time in my videos. You're going to find those former top-line machines that were owned by some grandma that hardly used it, and the family's selling it just to get rid of it because no one in the family sews after grandma passes away. Or grandma traded it in for the latest and greatest, newest machine that she will hardly use. Or like in this example, I was told this lady couldn't figure this machine out, It was hard for her, so she traded in for a different brand that had 1,000 more features on it, which would make it 1,000 times more harder to use. You just can't figure people out, people. You really can't figure out people. But when I got this machine, the instruction manual was still in the plastic bag. The hoops were still in the plastic bag. The knee lifter was still in the plastic bag. This was brand new. Brand new, and I got it for a fraction of the price from what it was brand new, and I got it from my local dealer. So I'm going to tell you guys, visit your local sewing machine dealers. If you want to look for great bargains, look on Marketplace online. But if you're going to buy from Marketplace, you got to really check it out, test drive it before you buy it. You don't know who's selling it. You don't know if it's a stolen machine. You got to be really diligent and do your homework and look at that. Ask for the serial number on the back of the machine from anyone on Marketplace, or they'll post a picture. If it's legit, they'll post a picture of the serial number, and you can check with the manufacturer of that serial number and see if it's legitimately, if it was stolen or not. All right, with all that said, this machine is such a wonderful machine, and I want to thank my local dealer who told me about it, because I said, when my 9000 died, I said, you don't get any used S9s in, do you? He goes, as a matter of fact, I do have one. A lady bought it. It was too hard for her to use, so she traded in for something even harder. But that's not what he said. That's what I was thinking. So I said, well, if she finds this hard, she's going to find anything else harder, because this really is so simple to use. I think the problem today is no one reads their instruction manuals. And we see a lot of that on the groups. We see a lot of that in sewing groups. No one opens up manuals and read. No one goes to take their classes. You buy from a local dealer, they're going to give you an operation class on how to use the machine and go over all the features so you know. All you got to do is take a pencil and your notebook with you and take notes. Take notes as they're teaching you. And if people aren't doing that because they're buying online and ordering from a dealer not even near them, and then they complain they don't know how to use something, or they're asking questions on the sewing groups that could be answered for two things. First, reading the instruction manual. Second, going to your local dealer and taking a machine operation lesson on how the machine operates. Okay? Now, if you're new to sewing, a machine operation lesson is not a lesson on how to sew. It's a lesson that teaches you the mechanics and the electronics of the machine. Do you understand that? A lot of people say, well, I win. They never even showed me how to make a shirt, or how to do this, or how to do that. And well, that's true. The machine operation lesson does not include how to construct a shirt. It teaches you the machine operation, the operation of the machine. That's what it teaches you. So it's your benefit to go and learn those kind of things. So this machine, it does like 200 different decorative stitches for regular sewing. It's just mind-blowing. There is so much you could do with these decorative stitches. And the more decorative stitches we seem to have, the less we seem to use them. So you've got to think about being creative and using some of these decorative stitches. And I try to show these decorative stitches in some of my videos, which I'm going to be showing a lot more of, to give you guys some more ideas. Okay? A few things we're going to go over. Now, one of the biggest things that people always ask me when I'm using metallic threads is they always see me with this little dish. And I want to go over this dish with you. Hold on a minute here now. All right, so there's two parts to this dish. All right, there's this dish here. And this is from Janome. Janome manufactures this. So you need to go to your Janome dealer and show them this video and say, get me this little thread seat or thread dish. All right. This is a spool cap. This is just a generic spool cap that fits over your bobbin winder. So what I do is I put that over that, and I put this dish on. And what I did is I cut a piece of felt and I glued it in there, and I put this on there. Now when you use metallic thread, let me get some metallic thread and I'll show you again. All right, here we go. So now when you use metallic thread like this sulky, this is a good size spool to use. All right, when it feeds, it's like on ball bearings, and you have no resistance, absolutely no resistance. Now remember, metallic threads have to be fed from the side. Do not feed them up like you would on a thread stand, because they will kink, coil, and break. But your traditional metallic threads like this one will work flawlessly on machines today. And this machine accepts it flawlessly. Absolutely beautiful. And you may have seen my videos on my MC9900 showing how beautiful metallic threads work. And I have a Skyline S5 when I was doing decorative stitching. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So go to your Janome dealer and tell them you want this dish. If they don't know what it is, well, there's a Janome group, Facebook group that's run by all employees of Janome. So tell them to find out what it is for you, because they should know their products. I don't know what the real name of it is. I found these on the wall one time at my dealer and I bought them. And I had one originally that came with what was called a miracle stitch foot years ago. You know, I've been sewing since the early 90s. So I know Janome products. And I remember this product, and it was for the miracle stitch foot, and you put it on. This one doesn't have a vertical pin, okay? This machine does not have a vertical pin, but you would do this. It came with a vertical pin that you put in the machine, and then you put this down just like I'm doing here, but this one's on the bobbin winder, and you put your invisible thread on it because they wanted you to use invisible thread. And the miracle stitch foot was for couching yarn, you see? And later on, I discovered you could use it for metallic threads like this. You see that? So now they sell this as a thread dish or thread seat. Just go to your dealer, or ask one of the employees on the Janome Facebook groups, and they'll get the information for you. All right. Now another thing that I love, I get a lot of questions about, is this industrial sewing machine light. This is, I don't care how much lighting they put in sewing machines today. There's still never enough light. Look how beautiful that lights up. And when I shut it off, you'll see there's no light over here. And when we sew, we want light out here, right? Well, this I found through an industrial sewing machine supplier online. And if you want to know how to find things, I Google everything, and I tell you guys to Google everything. So I give you the names of things, and you Google it, and you figure out where you want to buy it from. Because I don't advertise, you know, I don't have residual checks from products. What I do is just helping you guys out. So I don't promote advertising. I don't do it. I just tell you the products I'm using. Then you look it up and figure out where to buy it. So let me tell you how to find this on Google. This is what you enter: 30 LED industrial sewing machine light. Okay? Now, if you're new to my channel, you've never seen any of my other videos, I'm going through this to explain it to you. So it's magnetic. So what I did was I got a washer from the Home Depot or Lowe's, wherever you go, and double-sided tape from the automotive store by 3M. It's a 3M detailing tape. I taped it to the back of the washer, stuck it to the machine, and then that just sticks there with the magnetic, and then you can move this light everywhere you want. I even put one up under here for extra light here. Now watch this. I'll shut the light off back here. You can see, but this is just the light that came with the machine. And no matter what brand machine I have where they put many lights in, there's still never enough. I mean, I hope these new top-of-the-line machines coming out have machines flooded all around the landscape, you know? So let me turn this back on. You'll see much more light ahead. See that? So when you're embroidering or sewing, you've got a lot more surface light. So that's a tip there. All right, so the nice thing about this S9 is, oh, and by the way, this table, go to your local dealer. Go to your local dealer. I know a lot of people, you buy online today. You love to buy online. You don't like to get out and get any exercise to go visit locally. Brick and mortar stores are dying left and right because no one wants to get out anymore and do a little exercise. They want to sit home in their pajamas and their underwear and just order on that computer. Now, it's really funny to me is how you guys can order on the computer and find stuff that you want. But when it comes to education, you don't know. When it comes to finding education, reading your instruction manual, suddenly you all become clueless. You don't know how. You know, you got to stop that crap. We're teaching kids today, and some of these kids today are smarter than some of you all are acting. So don't act innocent. You know, there's something that sewing teaches you if you haven't learned by now. Sewing teaches you how to be self-sufficient and independent, okay? So that is what sewing teaches you. It doesn't teach you patience. It teaches you how to find things for yourself, how to create things for yourself, right? Now, this machine also has, the embroidery unit is attached to the back. Now, years ago, Janome had a slogan that said, "We don't have bulky attachments." Well, this is a bulky attachment now. And Janome got rid of that slogan, but it's still, I think in their 12,000 video on YouTube, they talk about, we don't have the bulky attachment. In other words, they're referring to other brands who have bulky attachments. Every time Janome demeans another brand, they end up taking away that slogan because they end up doing something that comes back to them. You know what I'm saying? So it has the attachment in the back, and the attachment in the back, the arm swings out, and That's how you attach your embroidery hoop, is in the back. So the embroidery hoop doesn't attach to the side, it attaches to the back. Okay, and like this is the embroidery, one of the embroidery hoops. This machine comes with 3 embroidery hoops. It comes with, and I label mine. I take my brother label maker and I label it. So this is the 5.5 by 5.5 frame, and then it also comes with a larger frame. Let me bring it out. Well, first let me show you the small frame. It comes with this small frame. This is great. Now here's another good idea that Janome came up with that I have to give them compliments on, is that if you ever like want to sew on a sleeve or something, you can hoop the sleeve here and then you remove the table, and this is a free arm. So you can embroider like a free arm. It is a free arm when you embroider, so you can get in tight circular spaces. Isn't that great? And this is a 3.9 by 1.6 field. That's what they say. And then the big one is this 6.7 by 7.9 frame. This is the big one for that. So let's just round it out. This is a 7 by 8 frame. 7 by 8 frame. And you know, the other brands, the ones everyone has, the most common frame they use is 5 by 7. So this is going to give you more than enough to do a lot of things. Now, the cool thing about this machine, because you're going to say, well, Chris, why did you buy that machine if you have a 9900 that works great? I bought this because it has perfect placement. And that's with your tablet and the app. You see these little black, let me see here, what we got here. See these little black lines? They're on every corner. Every corner. So when you hoop your fabric, you're going to use an app called AccuSetter after you use the app called AccuEditor. So the AccuEditor will bring in a design that you want to edit, and you can bring it in from the machine or from your USB that's plugged into the machine. You bring in a design, or you can use the built-in designs, like I said, and then you're able to edit it. You're able to move it around. In other words, if you have a shirt collar, for example, you can use the sticky stabilizer and stick your shirt collar onto this. And as long as you don't cover these black lines, you take a picture, and then you calibrate the black lines, and then you edit the design. You could turn it, you can move it so it fits perfectly on that shirt collar. Then you send it back to the machine, and the machine, and I angled this one just to test it. You send it back to the machine, you put your hoop in, you sew it, embroider it out, and it embroiders perfectly where you want it. That's the advantage of this machine compared to like the 9850 or the 9900. The other advantage of this machine compared to the 9850 or the MC9850 or MC9900, which by the way, the 9850 replaced the 9900. Janome has a history of doing that throughout the years. They will come out with a machine like the 9900. If you don't know what that machine is, look it up online. It was just like this. It had the knee lifter. It had, I think it only had 175 built-in stitches though. Beautiful combo sewing embroidery machine. Love that machine to death. Screen's almost just exactly the same and everything. And then they discontinued the 9900 and they replaced it with the 9850. And they took away the knee lifter. And they're charging half the price of the 9850 that they did of the 9900. And they've done that throughout their life with other models prior to that. And that's what they did with the 9900 and 9850. The 9850 is basically the 9900 without the knee lifter. Now, this Janome S9, they may come out with another model or a series like the S Skyline series, but maybe they'll take away the knee lifter again. But the Skyline, besides the Wi-Fi and the knee lifter, it also has the up and down. Let me get this out of here and show you. Hold on. All right. So what this does is when you engage this for embroidery, it puts the foot down automatically, up and down automatically. And for sewing, you can set it so you have a pivoting. So you're able to pivot, which is nice. And other brands have already had that, and their high-end machines already had that. But now Janome has decided after all these years, they said to themselves, everybody else is putting those features in their midline machines. We better think about putting it in our midline machine, which is what they did. They put it in the Skyline now, okay, which is great. Other brands have been doing that for a long time. Janome, Janome's a great machine, guys. I love Janome. It was my first love because my first computerized sewing machine was a Kenmore, and the Kenmore 150 stitch was made by Janome, and I was hooked on Janome machines, and I've always loved them ever since. But I found that even though Janome was the first to come out with a combo sewing and embroidery machine, and I've said this many times before, they were slow to come out with more advanced stuff. Well, like Brother, for example, is coming out with more advanced features ahead. Why do I like Janome, you may ask? I like the quality of their sewing. I really do. And like I said, my first love was my Kenmore. And when you're with your first love, you kind of stay loyal. And I did. I stayed pretty loyal to buying it. But like I said, in today's world, you've got so many barely used sewing and embroidery machines on the market now. So the industry is flooded with these used machines because for over 30 years now, these companies have been producing new models, new technology every 2 to 4 years. So now you've got people trading these machines in every 2 to 4 years, and you've got their old machines, which have been barely used, for sale now. So you can get a really great deal if you don't want to buy brand new. Since I buy all my machines to do my own videos, I like to buy the used so I can afford them to be able to do videos to show you guys. And the deals are out there. I'm in Florida, guys. I live in Florida. Florida is a state full of retired, older people, especially older women. The ratio of widowed women to men is so much greater. And these ladies like to quilt. They love quilt. You walk into any sewing store and you want to take lessons, and all you ever see is quilt lessons. I've had younger people come up to me and say, oh, I'd rather buy a machine online because when I walk into these stores, they want to turn you into a quilter, and I don't want to quilt. And I get it, because when I was sewing all these years, they did the same thing to me, but I created my own path. Just got to create your own path, guys. Just go get the machine, learn the operation of the machine, then go home and make your own stuff. And now with YouTube today, you've got all kinds of videos to learn from. You really, really do. So getting back to this combo machine, it's so easy. What I love about it is you can easily convert from embroidery to sewing without having to take off the bulky attachment and without having to remove your extension table. That's what I love about this Janome. I never have to take off my extension table on my 9900 or my Skyline right here. It's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. And then, guys, if you like to use multiple threads, or if you use big cone threads and you do a lot of embroidery, you can get a thread stand, a custom thread stand that attaches to the back here. This is made by Janome. Attaches to the back. It's wonderful. Just wonderful. Well, this is my introduction to you guys on this machine. I'll demonstrate some sewing features and embroidery and some more videos. You may have seen my short videos embroidering on this machine, because I was really thrilled. I'm very thrilled with this machine. Now, I have other brands that take huge hoops. They take the much bigger hoops. But I don't always use those big hoops. I love them for special occasion things. But I always find myself going back to that, that 5x7 or like Janome 7x8 size hoop. So that is more than enough for what you'll probably need. And being, like I said, this has apps that you can download for your iPad or your tablet, in your Apple tablet or your Windows Droid run tablet. You can get perfect placement, and that is fabulous, because it was Brother that introduced the Brother and Baby Lock in 2007, I think it was, introduced the first home embroidery machine that had built-in camera. So it would scan your fabric so you can have perfect placement, and after you scan the fabric in the hoop, it would show up on the screen, and you'll be able to move your design and see a picture of your fabric. Well, other companies are starting to come out with that now. And also, if they don't have that, they have that app feature, which you use your tablet to take a picture and do the editing. And that's what this one allows you to do. So, well, this is my introduction. And if you're new to my channel, please like, subscribe, because I will be doing some more videos as I always do. And if you love this machine, let us know in the comments below. If you're new to this machine, let us know in the comments below. And keep my channel next to you, because I'm always producing new things for you to learn from. All right? And I have a Skyline group that if you want to join, I put the link below. All right, take care, everybody. I'll talk to you soon. Bye now.